If you're a woman over 40 and lately you just don't feel like yourself anymore, your energy is low, your body just does feel different, and you've got yourself thinking, maybe it's just aging. And slowly you just stop trying. I want you to listen. One of the hardest things I see in midlife women, it's not that they're doing everything wrong. It's just they stop doing anything for themselves. And maybe that's you. You're not working out and you haven't been working out in a long time. Or you've tried and you stopped because you didn't see any results. And from outside, it can look like you don't care, or you're not disciplined, or you're lazy. But that's not what actually going on. Because at some point you did try. You tried to eat better, you tried working out, you tried to follow advice you heard somewhere, and maybe it didn't work, or it worked for a while, and then everything just didn't work again. And after a few rounds of that roller coaster, you started thinking, what's the point? What is the point of all this? And at the same time, your body just still doesn't feel the same way. Your energy is not there anymore. Sometimes even simple things that used to be started to become difficult. And no one really explains why. So you start pulling back. Not because you don't want to feel better, but because it started feel like a lot of effort for something that used to be not so difficult and much easier. And little by little, without even noticing, you stop trying. And you stop trying not because you're lazy, not because you're not disciplined, but because you're exhausted and confused. And the worst part is you stopped believing in yourself and your body. And this is the part not many people really talk about. Women don't just give up in their midlife. Something changes, that trying for them becoming pointless. What I see over and over again is this. At some point, something happens that women start thinking, I need to do something about this. Maybe it's a doctor telling her she needs to do something about her body, about her weight, because her test results not so great anymore. Maybe she's just so tired all the time that she wants her energy back. Maybe she wanna feel good and look good on her vacation. Or simply, one day she looked at herself in a mirror and thinks, you know what? I don't like the way I feel. And I don't like the way I look. I want to do something about it. So she decides to try. She started following a diet. She started working out. She started just doing anything possible for herself to get better. And the most important, she decided to be consistent. And for a few weeks, she really tries her best. But the results, so little that she doesn't see putting so much effort is worth it. So now she's standing there and thinking, why I'm putting so much effort and stress and nothing changing? And from there, one of two things usually happens. She either pushes harder or she stops completely. Because at some point, it just doesn't make any sense to continue. Not because she doesn't care, but she started thinking, maybe it's just aging. Maybe it's too late for me. Maybe my body just doesn't respond anymore the way it used to. And when nothing makes sense, it is much easier to just stop doing what doesn't give you results. And this is where most people get it wrong. Women do not stop because they're lazy and undisciplined. They stop trying because their bodies stop responding to whatever they're doing. And after enough frustrations and enough disappointments, they're not just stop trying. The worst part is they stop believing in themselves. After 40, your body simply, it's not the same body as it used to be. Let's be realistic and honest about it. What worked for you in your 20s and 30s was built on a completely different foundation. You had more muscle, you recovered faster, your hormones were more stable, and really and truly you could handle more stress when we were younger. Now your body is more sensitive to stress, to undereating, to pushing too hard, to poor sleep, or even doing nothing. And here is where things start to break down. When you try to go back and do the things that feel familiar, eat less, push harder, being more strict, your body doesn't feel supported. It feels really stressed. And when your body feels stressed, it doesn't concentrate on the fat loss. It concentrates on survival. So naturally, your energy drops down, your cravings increases, your recovery gets worse, and fat loss slows down. And mentally, you're thinking, here you goes again. It's not working for me. You stopped, or you don't even start, because your body remembers how it felt last time. And here's the part that feels a little bit uncomfortable, but it's real. At this point in life, most women over 40, they're not chasing the perfect body anymore that they can fit in those skinny jeans. They just want to feel better. They want more energy. They want better results on their blood tests, better sleep, and they want to feel that their body actually working with them. But trying to figure out all this on your own feels overwhelming. There is too much information, too many opinions, and too many things that didn't work. So you start second guessing yourself. And after a while, you stop trusting yourself. And of course, at some point, if something feels like a magic pill that promises results, you think this is the last source for you. And it starts to feel like it's the only option. If you see yourself in this, I need you to hear this closely. You didn't stop because you are lazy. You stopped because your body stopped responding to whatever you were trying to do. And all things stopped making sense for you. And no one explains that to you. You were told to eat less, move more, try harder. But no one told you that after 40, your body needs a different approach. More support, not more restrictions. More recovery, not more punishments. And when that is missing, Even strong and very disciplined women feel completely stuck. And honestly, this is exactly why I started this channel. Because so many women think they failed, when really and truly they were just following the wrong advice that no longer fits their bodies. This isn't about starting harder. It's not about the workouts you have to do that you hate. It's not about the diets that you feel that you're deprived. It's not about pushing harder just to try to get results again, because that's exactly what stopped working to begin with. What this really is about is finally understanding why your body is not responding the way it used to be. Find the root cause of it. What changed in your metabolism that used to be pretty good? How stress is affecting your body? Why your energy is so low even though you're trying your best? And once you see all those pieces clearly, everything will start changing. Instead of forcing workouts that you dread and you don't like and not looking forward, find something that you really enjoy, movements that you enjoy, and you can do those for a long time. And instead of being in between completely perfect and then the opposite, being completely off track, you start building something more solid and consistent. Something that includes the food you really enjoy without creating stress around your eating habits. Because it's not really what you do sometimes, it's about consistency. What you do every day, that will deliver you results. It's not what you do sometimes. And that is the shift. Less pressure, more support, less extremes, and more consistency. And that's what your body will start responding to in your midlife. So listen, you're not lazy. You've been just trying to push the body that needs a different approach right now. And no one showed you or told you how to do it. And once you understood why you stopped to begin with, the question isn't, how do I push myself again? It becomes actually, what really works for my body that I can get from point A to the point B? And that's what I'm going to start breaking down piece by piece for you in my next series.